maybe you can explain this forecasting tournament and what's in it for great forecasters like the people listening to this podcast.
Sure. So in academia, I mean, you get a job because you wrote some things down on a piece of paper. Your work is judged by others who got where they are by writing things down on paper. And those people who judge them also basically got judged based on what they read. There's never any connection to reality, right? So there's never any indication that these people know what they're doing. In any other field, in the hard sciences, sometimes you have a test of reality, but you really don't in a lot of the social sciences, which is what we're focusing on. So what we're trying to do, for all the reasons your listeners are probably familiar with, I've always been a big fan of prediction markets. I like quantifying what people think is going to happen. I like having methods in order to judge which people know what they're talking about, which people don't. So we're trying something new at the Salem Center at the University of Texas. What we want to do is we want to have a research fellowship, and it's going to be available to somebody who has a proven track record in forecasting. So we have a website. It's on the platform of Manifold Markets. Go to salemcenter.manifold.markets. You're going to want to read the rules before you play, so that go to CSPIcenter.com. That's our newsletter on Substack. So just read the rules. It's one of the top posts there. So read the rules, sign up for the Salem Center, the Manifold Markets tournament. And basically the market functions a lot like predicted. You get $1,000. We call them Salem bucks, and you buy and sell. So you can go to the site, you can see, will Republicans win the Senate? Questions about how many COVID cases there's going to be the rest of the year, things like GDP growth, stuff relating to the Russia-Ukraine war, and then you buy and sell. You get a payout depending on whether you win or not. At the end of all this is going to end in July 2023, so it's a full year. The top 5 are going to be judged for the research fellowship. So it's $25,000. You get to be a research fellow at the University of Texas. You don't have to come live in Texas. You don't have to do anything. You just become a research fellow. You get an academic credential. You get some money. And then, if top 20, also get something too. We're going to do a virtual conference for top forecasters. I'll be there. Brian Kaplan, Robin Hansen, if your listeners are familiar, big names, and among particularly people who like prediction markets. I think those are 2 of the biggest names out there, and then other people too, to be announced later. So that'll be the top 20. We'll also be giving awards that are less tangible, but we think they're prestige symbols. So the top 1% of forecasters, top 5% of forecasters, top 10% of forecasters will all get recognition. We also you have to take one more thing you do to sign up. You have to take a survey basically to be eligible for prizes. Short survey, probably 10, 15 minutes, and that's all. We give you the Salem bucks. You buy, you sell. At the end of this, you come back and you see if you won or not.
So for our traders, basically sign up for, we'll provide a link on Star Spangled Gamblers, but sign up, participate in the exact same prediction markets, more or less, that they're already participating in, and have the chance to, I think it was a $25,000 fellowship. Is there any obligation to actually produce research, or can they just grift,
no obligation. We'll invite you to contribute. We're going to invite, I think, the top 20 people to contribute something on, forecasting, and just, we're going to have a symposium and a conference. If you really don't want to do that, I guess you don't have to, but I think you should want to. So no, we want you to win. We don't want you to have to take on any obligations. If you're a good forecaster, we want you to play.
Okay. So the only downside to this that I'm hearing is I think I actually saw you write once that you're, quote, you personally are, quote, at the extreme tail ends of both disagreeableness high and neuroticism low. So why do people want to work with the most disagreeable person in the United States of America?
Well, I think so. Some people like being around me. Yeah, I mean, I think other disagreeable people, I think like disagreeable people, because sometimes if you're with somebody who's too sensitive or too neurotic, you'll say something and you're like, oh my God, I have to be walking on this eggshells with this person. So the kind of people I like to be friends with, it's easy to sort of go back and forth. And you might not want to work with me, but you don't actually have to work with me in this thing. You could just win, and you don't have to deal with me. You can you don't have to come. You don't even have to come to the conference. I mean, there's no obligation to hang out with me if that's holding you up.